The scene began like any typical royal public relations event. Polished, calculated, and perfectly staged. Meghan Markle, dressed to the nines, walked down the aisle of an American Airlines flight, flashing smiles at passengers as if she were filming a lifestyle commercial. She even took the time to write a thank you note to the flight crew. Cameras clicked, fans swooned, and it all seemed like a harmless photo opportunity. However, unbeknownst to the public, this cheerful moment was merely a facade. While Meghan played the role of the friendly traveler at 30,000 feet, turmoil was brewing behind the scenes, particularly with British Airways. A flight attendant from a royal tour flight decided to speak out, anonymously but credibly, revealing that Meghan displayed no emotional connection to her baby during a long-haul flight. According to this attendant, there was no bonding or interaction. The nanny was the one taking care of everything. What raised eyebrows even further was the claim that the baby did not respond to Meghan at all. While one odd incident could be attributed to exhaustion or stress, this was not an isolated case. It added fuel to a theory that had been circulating since 2019, that Meghan Markle may not have given birth to her children at all. Enter DL, a woman whose identity remains concealed but whose allegations are sending shockwaves through royal gossip circles. She claims to have been hired as a surrogate for Meghan, not just once but twice, for both Archie and Lilibet. DL describes the process as something out of a conspiracy thriller, stating she was taken to a secret location, cut off from communication, and given strict instructions to deliver the babies, sign a non-disclosure agreement, and disappear. There were no contracts or legal surrogacy filings, just silence. Initially, DL complied. But after allegedly being ghosted by Meghan following the second birth, she decided to break her silence. DL claims to have evidence, including videos from the compound, ultrasound scans, and hospital records that align with the timelines of Archie and Lilibet's births. She is even willing to take a DNA test, challenging anyone to test me. Test them. Let's see who's lying. If her story ended there, it would already be enough to create a media frenzy. However, the situation becomes even more bizarre. Recall the viral clip from Meghan's pregnancy days, where her belly appeared to fold in on itself as she bent down. At the time, it was dismissed as a camera angle or wardrobe malfunction, but in light of DL's claims, it has resurfaced with renewed scrutiny. Many are now calling it the moment the illusion cracked. Additionally, the way Meghan and Harry released baby photos has raised eyebrows. Strategic angles, blurry images, and a lack of full-face shots, including the now infamous photo of baby feet. Observant viewers noted that the hands in the photo did not appear to match Meghan's skin tone or nail shape. There are also allegations that Meghan did not attend the hospital for Lilibet's birth, showing up only afterward for press photos. Initially, these were merely internet theories, but DL's claims have made them harder to dismiss. If true, they could unravel the entire Sussex narrative, impacting royal succession, titles, and constitutional legitimacy. Meghan's carefully crafted image as a strong mother and public victim is now under scrutiny. The British Airways whistleblower was not the only one revealing secrets. Once DL's story broke, other insiders began to speak out, albeit cautiously. A royal aide reportedly mentioned that the palace had been concerned for years about the lack of medical documentation regarding Meghan's pregnancies. While everything was publicly brushed aside, behind closed doors, there were whispers, meetings, and contingency plans. Now those private discussions are colliding with public chaos. DL's evidence is not limited to medical records. She has time-stamped footage of herself visibly pregnant in a facility she claims was arranged by the Sussex team. In one clip, she lies on a medical bed, clearly exhausted, while murmuring the date and location into the camera. Another clip shows her holding a newborn, crying softly as a masked nurse tends to her. If the metadata on these clips is verified, it could spell disaster for Harry and Meghan. DL insists she is not motivated by money. She has turned down multiple offers from tabloids, preferring to maintain control over her story. She claims she went public only after Meghan attempted to erase her existence entirely, offering no acknowledgement or gratitude. What pushed her to speak out was seeing Meghan's recent interviews where she tearfully discussed motherhood and being targeted by the press. DL felt as though she was watching someone else take credit for her experience. Meanwhile, Meghan's public relations team is working overtime. Within hours of the British Airways leak, they released a flurry of heartwarming family content online, including videos of the children playing in the garden and a sentimental blog post about motherhood and resilience. However, sharp-eyed followers were not convinced. In one of the clips, the child who was supposed to be Lilibet did not resemble Meghan in terms of eye shape or hair color. Reddit threads exploded with comparisons, dissecting photos and pointing out inconsistencies. The timing of Meghan's surprise appearance on the American Airlines flight coincided suspiciously with the leak. It was not just a casual boarding. Every moment was meticulously captured, from her note to the crew to her interactions with flight attendants. This was not merely travel. It was a full-scale image reset. However, instead of shifting the narrative, it prompted deeper investigation. One viral comment questioned, "If everything was real, why is she trying this hard to convince us?" As the cracks in the Sussex fairy tale widened, sources within Buckingham Palace indicated that the legal team was reviewing succession laws. Archie and Lilibet currently hold royal titles, but if they were not legally born to Meghan and there is no documented surrogacy contract, it could lead to a constitutional crisis. Titles might be revoked, and their place in the royal line could be jeopardized. This situation transcends family drama. It touches on governance. Harry's role in all of this remains uncertain. Some believe he was complicit, while others think he was manipulated, caught in a narrative he could not escape. What is clear is that he has not spoken publicly, and his silence is deafening. This chaos has triggered a state of panic in Montecito. Meghan's team is reportedly vetting every former staff member, every old email, and every potential slip-up that could resurface. If DL proceeds with a public test or formal complaint, the Sussexes are not just facing bad press, they could face legal repercussions. A legal storm is brewing, and those close to the situation are acutely aware of it. Meghan's legal team is scrambling to get ahead of DL's potential DNA test, quietly reaching out to various labs to block or delay any public testing. Insiders suggest they are not trying to disprove the claims but rather buying time. Behind the scenes, frantic meetings are occurring around the clock, not just in Montecito but also in London. Senior palace advisors are reportedly urging King Charles to intervene before the situation spirals further out of control. One advisor allegedly warned, "If we don't take control of this narrative, the monarchy might lose control of the line." This crisis is not just about scandal. It is about protocol. The royal family has operated under centuries of rigid traditions, but nothing in the rulebook addresses a situation like this. The palace's silence, once viewed as dignified, is now interpreted as panic. Back in California, the atmosphere has shifted. Meghan, typically composed and calculated, is reportedly unraveling. Staffers describe her as snapping at assistants, obsessing over social media discussions, and demanding emergency media strategy sessions at odd hours. One former aide claims she broke down in tears after viewing a TikTok montage comparing DL's pregnancy videos to her own footage from royal appearances. The similarities were too striking, and no public relations campaign could erase that side-by-side comparison. Companies that once eagerly sought to partner with Meghan are now distancing themselves. A luxury baby brand that had previously announced a collaboration has quietly removed all promotional material. A publishing deal tied to her motherhood journey is reportedly on hold, and fashion brands are stepping back, with one executive stating, "We can't attach our name to a story this volatile." Harry, on the other hand, has retreated almost entirely. Friends say he has become withdrawn, avoiding calls and pushing away longtime allies. Some suspect he has known about DL for longer than he has admitted, and the guilt is weighing on him. Others believe he is still in denial, hoping the noise will fade if he remains silent. However, silence is no longer a protective shield. It is being interpreted as complicity. DL's next move is being closely watched. She has received offers from lawyers, networks and publishers, but so far she has declined every proposal. Those close to her say she is considering one thing only: a live, third-party supervised DNA test. She does not want a media circus or a grand reveal. She simply wants the truth to come out. If the test results confirm her claims, it will not only shake the Sussexes but could also have profound implications for the monarchy. Royal scholars have begun to weigh in on the situation. One historian noted that if there is no legal proof of Meghan giving birth and no documented surrogacy, Archie and Lilibet could be removed from the line of succession entirely, not just unofficially but through formal documentation. This would mean stripping titles, revoking privileges, and denying inheritance rights. The implications extend beyond personal choices. They touch on constitutional integrity. If Meghan fabricated an entire narrative of motherhood to secure titles and influence, that would constitute fraud on a royal scale, with potentially permanent ripple effects. Public trust, already fragile, could shatter. Future scrutiny over royal births might become mandatory. For the Sussex children, life will never be the same. DL has stated she is not seeking revenge. She simply wants to stop being erased. "Those kids deserve the truth," she reportedly told a friend. The unfolding events could redefine the royal legacy, not through crowns or ceremonies, but through DNA, evidence, and the unveiling of a long-held secret.